This week there have been like a war of words. Women calling other women things that in my opinion, are hateful. And it's been all over the news, on TV, on social media, and it was just a real challenge for me to stay positive this week and not get caught up in this reactionary way of life that we have now. And so it reminded me of the power of our words and the things that we speak into existence. And it's one thing when we are spitting out words at other people, even if we think we're joking, and that was some of the rationalization for some of the words that were said this past week. But we really just have to be careful of what we say and how we say it. Not just to each other, and it's important what we say to each other, but to ourselves. The way that we speak to ourselves, the things that we say to ourselves. And because Spirit is the great I am, whenever you attach a word to I am, it's got immense power. And those words start activity in the universe to manifest what you just said out loud or to yourself. So in meditation today, we each selected a rock and they had words on it, and they each had one of the 12 powers written on it. And I use this a lot. I use it in my business when I'm working with women, and I use it in my personal life because it represents to me that when we speak something aloud, it becomes written in stone. It's out there. And there's even a philosophy that words that are said out loud remain in the energy of the place where those words are spoken, which is interesting. So you could say something, leave the room, and apparently that energy of those words stays. So the last couple of months since I've been taking classes at the Unity Worldwide Spiritual Institute, words and the power of words has been talked about, and it's been a theme over and over and over again. Because that's the basis of metaphysics. We call into existence the things that we talk about and the things that we say. So I've become hyper aware of what I'm saying and how I'm saying it. Because the energy that you attach to your words matters. So we talked maybe a month or so ago about prayer. So if you're praying and you're down here and you're contracted, your prayer has less energy. However, if you pray like this, arms outstretched, head up, voice elevated, speaking through your power, those words are more powerful. So I'm thinking about everything that I say. And when I join in conversations with people, and I've discovered that misery loves company, even in words. So if somebody's talking about how they don't feel so good today, usually with my friends, because we're all now late 50s, early 60s, everybody's talking about getting older and how much of a challenge it is and how painful it is and everything's falling apart and my memory's going. And so now I'm paying attention to that and saying, why are we saying that out loud? And why am I joining in? Because I don't do that when I'm by myself. But I get caught up in the misery loves company. And instead of saying to people, oh, now I affirm that I remember everything I need to know when I need to know it. I do. I walk around that saying all day till I fall into misery loves company, and then all of a sudden I'm saying, oh yeah, I forget stuff too. I don't need to do that. So I've been catching myself and reframing those words after I know that I've said something that I don't want to be true, that I don't want written in stone in my life. And so I usually have this ongoing conversation with my body. I tell it to tell me what it is you need on a daily basis. Is it more rest? Different food? Do I need to eat fruit? Do I not need to eat? Whatever it is, and then I listen, and I do get answers. And so now, the parts of my body that I used to talk to because it was problematic, or I used to say, oh, that hurts. Oh, my knees always bother me. Because there's a thing about knees in my family. And one of the things I've been working on is not affirming that my body is falling in line with the heredity that's in my family. We get to choose through the power of words, and because we are creators, I get to choose whether or not my heredity manifests in my health life. And there are some things in my heredity I don't want to affirm. I don't want bad knees. I don't. So now I've switched, and now I say, my knees feel great all the time. Even when they don't. Because I need to teach them that we feel great all the time. And I'm noticing that they feel better and better more. Parts that hurt. Or when I get up in the morning and I feel like I don't have any energy, I don't affirm that I don't have any energy. I affirm that I am life and have limitless energy. And yes, it's a lot of work. And yes, I'm probably walking around muttering to myself all day long. But I've got to switch the consciousness because I want something different written in stone in my life. So what do you want to choose? And what are we saying out loud that we really don't want? Is it around prosperity or health or relationships? You know, there are times I used to say that oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. Why did I do that? Now I don't say that anymore. I stop myself and oh my gosh, I'm so... I don't finish the sentence. And then I reframe it because, you know, we go there quickly without thinking. But it's time to think about the power that you're bringing into your life and what you're manifesting. So if there's something we don't want, we get to renounce it. We have the power of renunciation. That's one of the 12 powers. So you get to speak out of existence what you don't want. And the teacher of my metaphysics class said that you can simply say, I give no power or importance to blank. I give no power or importance to the pain I feel in my knees right now. And I now affirm that my knees feel great all the time. That my knees are healthy and strong. And the muscles and tendons that support them and make them work are in perfect order. You can say, I give no power or importance to the appearance of my bank account. And I know that Spirit is my source. And everything I need is right here, right now. And everything is well. Everything is good. I am abundance and prosperity. So you work with denials and affirmations. You speak out what you don't want, and then you speak into existence what you want written in stone. So this is what Charles Fillmore says about the Word. This is from his book, Christian Healing. The spoken word carries vibrations through the universal ether and also moves the intelligence inherent in every form, animate or inanimate. It has been discovered that even rocks and all minerals have life. This is proof of the omnipresence of the one animating substance. Man, being the highest emanation of divine mind, has great directive power and is really cooperator with God in forming the universe. We should be speaking words of truth to everything, not only to mankind, but to the mineral, vegetable, and animal kingdoms. The fine discernment of the poet reveals that, quote, the very stones cry out, unquote, where a tragedy has occurred. The all-penetrating ether receives our thoughts and words like the wax cylinder of the phonograph, only 1,000 times more accurately. It preserves them and echoes them back to us in continuous vibrations. The word of one in authority carries weight and produces far-reaching effects. The fiat of the physician that a certain disease might result disastrously to the patient will, when believed, counteract all healing forces of nature. You can make yourself a new creature, and you can build the world about you to your highest ideals. Do not fear, but speak to the law supreme, the desires of your heart. It is your duty as expressor of the divine law to speak forth the Logos, the very word of God, and cause the Garden of Eden, the everywhere present mind substance, to manifest for you and in you in its innate perfection. That's how we co-create with God. That's how we express our divinity. And just like the world was created, let there be light, you can say, let there be abundance in my life. Only abundance. Let there be health in my life. Only vibrant health. Let there be opportunity overflowing. My mind is sharp and strong. My mother had a stroke. I have affirmations about my veins and capillaries and arteries. And I say that they're strong and supple and resilient and smooth. And I added in smooth because the nurse at my doctor's office said that I have a tortuous artery going towards my heart. And I said, I don't want a tortuous artery. Torturous? What a word to use. So I thought, I'm not doing that. So I said, so what's the difference? So I asked her when she said it, I said, oh my gosh, what does that mean? And she said, well, it's just kind of rough and it's kind of jagged, but that happens when you get to be a certain age. And I was like, oh my gosh, here we go again. I'm not doing that. So I talk to my body and say that it's young and vibrant and healthy. We get to choose what life is. Life doesn't have to be torturous. Our bodies don't have to be torturous. Our relationships don't have to be torturous. life can be kind and gentle and loving and inspiring. But we have to decide that that's what we're going to speak into existence with our words. And speak them with authority, because you're the boss. You're the boss of you. And you have dominion and power over you and your life. You're the master of your universe. And so as the master, what do you decide? And really be clear. I've been listening to some YouTube videos, and there was a gentleman, I believe his name is Bob Proctor. And I think this video was from the 70s, 60s or 70s. And he was saying, just be clear about what you want, because our words have power. And the story he related was that his niece kept saying she wanted piles of money, piles of money. And so she started affirming that. But then she ended up as a bank teller, dealing with piles of money that belonged to other people. And he said, well, you weren't specific. So yes, you deal with piles of money every day. So what do you want? Ask for it. Ask and you shall receive. Open the door. Step through it. And when the appearances aren't in integrity with what you're affirming, you keep affirming. Myrtle Fillmore, who changed her physical life by meditation and prayer and affirmation, said you have to have intense mind activity about what you're affirming. And then you follow through. You have to move your feet, as the Quakers say. So you can't affirm that you're vibrantly healthy and then be afraid to get up and walk around or do the things that push you just a little bit more beyond where you are currently. And there are times when I affirm all the way through it. Some of my workouts, when I'm tired and my body just wants to get off of that bike and spin class, I just want to go home. 20 minutes in and I got 40 minutes left. And so I talk to my body and I affirm that this is what we do. This is who I am. I am strong and vibrant and healthy. The minister at Unity Center of Light in Bowie, Maryland, the church we used to go to when we first got to Unity, used to say, "For this I am born." Gosh, how powerful is that? Something that you want to call into your life. I was born for this. So when I first started doing public speaking a lot, and I would be really, really nervous, and I could feel my heart beating out of my chest, I would say to myself, for this I was born. This is what I do. This is who I am. And my body would calm down. For this I was born. For this we were created. For greatness. For goodness. For love. For vibrant health. So divine perfection can show up everywhere in our lives. So take it with strength. Harness it. Embrace it. If you have to, yell it out loud. Because sometimes that's what your brain needs to pay attention. And to get it to refocus from appearances to what you really want. Get its attention. in whatever way works for you. For Carol, I know music works for her. She can find the right song and she flips the switch on how she's feeling. And then she steps into a different existence right then and there. Music works for me. Doing something physical, so my brain shuts off and my body's in gear. And then I can start to affirm something different. So find what works for you. And then get something else written in stone. Rewrite the story, today's story. And then affirm it every single day. Myrtle Fillmore says, affirm it all day long. Even when it feels like it's not working. Keep affirming it, because if you stop, it doesn't happen, it doesn't manifest. So that intense mind activity is necessary. Because our brains are always active. So train it. Train it to focus on what you want. And then the whole world is exactly as you want it. It manifests. And the more you practice, the more quickly you can manifest. Because you're divine. Simply divine. That was my affirmation today as I worked out. I am divine. And I said it over and over and over again. And I think about time number 25, I started to feel it. And then I kept going and staying in that feeling of divinity. So don't give up on yourselves. Choose what you're writing in stone in your life. Be careful of the I am statements. Deny what you don't want. Say that you'll give it no power or importance. And then speak out loud what it is you want. What is right now. And earnestly repeat it. Until what's manifested is in integrity with what you have affirmed. It changes everything.